So here we are again. It's another opportunity to take our brother for today to the very top. Battalion Chief Richard Prunty from Battalion 2. They're in the Greenwich Village, Manhattan, New York. In the FDNY, he is going to the very top, coming to you live from the gym in Sunland Park. This is a 343 commitment and still counting. 110 floors, memorial climb for Battalion Chief Richard Prunty. Again, Battalion 2, Greenwich Village. Housed there with Instant 24 Red Rover and the Phoenix Ladder 5. Carrying him to the top, dedicated this climb to his wife Susan and his daughter Lisa and son Christopher. Your husband and father will never be forgotten. This 110 is given with honor and respect for our brother who was a veteran of the Vietnam War and 33 years of service to the FDNY. This is his 110. Just about to kick off that first vertical of this climb. So, Battalion Chief Richard Prunty joined the Army and in the late 60s was deployed to South Korea in the Vietnam conflict, where he took care of radios and radar in that area. 1968, he took on the call for service to the FDNY. 1978, he graduated with a bachelor's from the New York Institute of Technology. I believe it was a bachelor's in behavioral science, if I read correctly. And I was reading also that as a father to his daughter Lisa, who was at college in New Hampshire during her finals, I believe it was Dartmouth College. She was very sick and was afraid she wasn't going to finish finals. Her dad, Battalion Chief Richard Prunty, went there with her for the entire week of finals week, and he actually slept on the floor in the house the whole time, to which his daughter Lisa had advised she was able to get through her finals because of her dad being there with her. So, if by chance you've seen the documentary 9/11 by, I believe his name is Julian Naudet, at the lobby of the North Tower, you'll see Chief Prunty. Battalion Chief Prunty is mentioned. There's Chief Prunty. White hair and a mustache. Great guy. Would be a great grandfather. This climb is to finish his footsteps, taking the battalion chief symbolically to the top of that 110th floor. The North Tower, which he was working in. This 110 is given with honor and respect for the sacrifices that were made on and after 9/11 2001. Those during both the rescue effort, following with the recovery effort at Ground Zero. They will never be forgotten. This climb is dedicated to Greenwich Village, Battalion 2, Agent 24, also known as Red Rover, and Ladder 5 is the Phoenix. Our brother will never be forgotten. His legacy as a Vietnam veteran, a husband and a father, will always be carried forward. For Susan, Lisa, and Christopher, promise made and promise kept. This is his 110 floors. Our brother back in the early 60s actually did some electrical work in the New York subway prior to joining the Army and being deployed to South Korea, which I believe he called it in jest Freedom's Frontier. That just after that, in 1968, our brother joined the FDNY. He gave up 33 years of service to the citizens of New York. So this climb is with honor and respect for the sacrifice made so that others could live. This is why we climb, to finish their footsteps. And right now, I'm taking up Battalion Chief Richard Prunty, who went from being a firefighter to a lieutenant to a captain to battalion chief. Each and every test, harder as it went. Hey, Brother John, hope you're doing good. Taking up Battalion Chief Prunty, the 269th time that I've climbed the Stair Climber, down to 74 brothers after this one. This climb is dedicated to all of you, brother. John. 110 floors all the way to the top. Not stopping till he reaches it. With honor and respect, brother. That's why I'm climbing. Taking him up. I'm glad to see you. You're doing better, brother. God bless you, and I pray for you all the time, John. So, for his wife, Susan, and at the time, his daughter, Lisa, was 25, and his son, Christopher, was 21 years old, according to what I read. So they were in their early to mid-20s, and going on 19 plus years later, his name will never be forgotten. For his family to know that we will always remember and never forget. This is why we climb. Taking him all the way. Like I said, he was in the Node documentary, 9/11, base of the North Tower, where he was noticed by Node, who said, "There's Chief Prunty, great guy, white hair and a mustache. He would make a great grandfather." This is with honor and respect for the sacrifice made so that others could live. On the worst terrorist attack on U.S. soil came the greatest rescue effort in U.S. history where upwards of 25,000 were saved because of the bravery, heroism, and valor shown that day. This is his story. This is why we climb. So our brothers know they will never be forgotten. Dedicated to his wife Susan and children, Lisa and Christopher, to the FDNY, off and on the line, like yourself, my brother John, to Battalion 2 out of Greenwich Village, housed there with Engine 24 and Ladder 5. And generally to our country. So we will always remember the sacrifices made, both on and after 9/11, 2001. Like I said, coming up on over 19 years, we will never forget. A tradesman in the electrical trade who worked in the New York City subway in the early 60s, to his time in service in the U.S. military, where he served in South Korea during the Vietnam conflict, working on radar, to the time where he became an FDNY firefighter, starting in 1968. Our brother gave 33 years of service to the citizens of New York, going from the ranks of firefighter to lieutenant to captain to battalion chief. This climb is for battalion chief Richard, lovingly known as Rich Prunty. Coming to you live from the gym at Sutherland Park Fire. This is the 343 commitment, and still counting, 110 floors. In honor and respect, memorial service of climbing for Battalion Chief Richard Prunty. Our brother was known to be a gruff-looking person, but a teddy bear once you got to know him. Very soft-spoken, great officer. Again, 33 years of service. With honor and respect, he's going to the top. So now we're on the fourth of 7 verticals for Battalion Chief Richard Prunty. Battalion 2. They're at the Greenwich Village out of Manhattan, housed with Engine 24 and the Phoenix of Ladder 5. Taking them up all the way to the top. This is why we climb. To tell their stories, so they are never forgotten and always remembered. For his wife Susan and daughter and son Lisa and Christopher, to know that your husband and father will never be forgotten. For the FDNY off and on the line, and for our country, Vietnam veteran and a brother who made the rank of Battalion Chief. Our brother was 57 years old from what I read. A graduate of the New York Institute of Technology with a Bachelor of Summa Cum Laude. I believe it was in behavioral science. He will never be forgotten. Right now, carrying him up that fourth of 7 verticals. As I said before, his daughter Lisa was at Dartmouth College in New Hampshire. And Battalion Chief Richard Prunty went there with her for an entire week while she was in finals week. Said he slept on the floor to be with her because she was sick as a dog to be able to make it through. And she got through finals because of the dedication of her father being there with her. He slept on the floor with her. A great father, husband, veteran, Battalion Chief for BC, Richard Prunty, FDNY's Battalion 2. We got 3 more verticals for Battalion Chief Richard Prunty before the 269th brother reaches the 110th floor. Each step is one closer to that next floor. Going all the way there. Over that halfway mark already for this 110 floors. For Battalion Chief Richard Prunty. Battalion 2, Manhattan's Greenwich Village. Housed with Battalion 2. There with Engine 24 and Ladder 5. Taking him all the way to the top. Finishing his footsteps at the North Tower. Going all the way to the 110th floor. This is why we climb. To make sure that their stories will never be forgotten. That their names will never be forgotten. It's not for us, but for them that we do this. 74 brothers left to carry upon completion. One by one, they'll make the top. As this is the 343 commitment and still counting. 110th floor memorial climbs. For the initial 343, before the end, still counting. Those who worked the pile for days, weeks, and months. And succumb to 9/11 illness and cancers will rightfully take their place. God willing, as many of our brothers as I can climb for after the initial 343. This is the 3rd climb of this 48-hour tour. Right now, for Battalion Chief Richard Prunty, 33-year veteran of the FDNY, 57 years old on 9/11. Going there with honor and respect. That 3rd one, it's a little rough towards the later floors. But this climb will continue. No interruptions, no calls to go on. Just in the gym, paying honor and respect to another one of our brothers who made the ultimate sacrifice so that others could live. Battalion Chief Richard Prunty, Greenwich Village, Manhattan. Along with Engine 24, Ladder 5. Pushing him with honor and respect. We've got 2 verticals left to carry, and then it'll go about to the 101st floor. Right after that, will be at the top. Taking him with honor and respect for the valor, bravery, and heroism that was shown 9/11, 2001, and following with the end still counting. Those who worked the pile for days, weeks, and months until the mission was declared complete within the recovery effort itself. So now we're on the second to last vertical on this climb for Battalion Chief Richard Prunty, dedicated to his wife Susan and daughter Lisa and son Christopher. He will never be forgotten. Taking our other brother to the very top, pushing him with honor and respect. The third climb of this tour. It's a little bit rougher this time around, but I will not quit until we reach 30 more floors all the way to the very top. The last vertical will get us to the 101st. For our brother, who in the late 60s was a Vietnam veteran who served in South Korea, working on radar, I believe it was radios. When in 1968, he took the call for service to the FDNY. 1978, graduated, I believe it was summa cum laude, with a bachelor's of behavioral science, I believe it was, from New York Institute of Technology. And right now, this climb is to carry our brother to the top of the North Tower, wherein in a day documentary, 9/11, Battalion Chief Richard Prunty was seen at the base of the North Tower, knowing that that was Chief Prunty. See Chief Prunty there with the white hair and the mustache? Great guy. Would have made a great grandfather. Was a reflection from the 9/11 documentary. Made the ultimate sacrifice so that others could live. Part of the greatest rescue effort in U.S. history, with upwards of 25,000 being saved. Sacrifice made through valor, bravery, and heroism that was shown. This is why we climb. John, I love you, brother. I'll see you next time. You stay safe, John. God bless you. This climb is one more vertical away and 9 floors from completion. Battalion Chief Richard, lovingly known as Rich Prunty. 1968 got his start in the FDNY as a firefighter, moved to lieutenant, to captain, and a battalion chief. Each time taking a test harder than the other. Took it all the way to battalion chief. For his wife, Susan, daughter Lisa, and son Christopher. Your husband and father will never be forgotten. For the FDNY, often on the line, specifically Greenwich Battalion 2, age of 24, and ladder 5. This is your Brothers climb. Taking them up to the 110th floor. Finishing his footsteps as a 269th brother to be carried of the original 343, leaving 74 brothers to reach the top. The next milestone for the 343 commitment being the 275th climb. God willing, before 9/11, the initial brothers will have taken their place. 343 memorial climbs to the very top. 110 floors each of telling their story, so they will never be forgotten. Last few seconds of that last final vertical. Ah. Hunter one. Only 9 more to go. Battalion Chief Richard Prunty. FDNY. Battalion 2. 33 years of service. Given to the citizens of New York. My brother was a Vietnam veteran. And right now, we're carrying him all the way to the very top. Third climb of this tour. And we're almost to the very top. Pushing him all the way with honor and respect for his wife Susan, daughter Lisa, and son Christopher. We will never forget. We will always remember. This is the reason we climb. So they know, the FDNY knows, and our country knows. And right now, we have finished this journey for this climb for Battalion Chief Richard Prunty. Rest easy, BC. We'll take it from here.